Hi, I'm Karla Schafer, Auntie's Beads designer, and today we're going to go over how to make an elastic bracelet. Today we're going to be using a gemstone double-holed or double-stranded bead. So we're going to use 5 of these, and then I'm going to be using an 8mm Swarovski crystal and also a bally bead. The stringing material we're going to be using is an elasticity, and I want to use a 0.8 because it's a little heavier and a little stronger because these beads tend to be a little on the heavy side. And the only tool you'll be needing today is a pair of nipper tools to cut the elasticity and some hypo cement to glue our knots. Okay, to get started, I'm not actually going to cut the elasticity off the roll. I'm going to work directly off the roll, which is something that's a little easier to do when you're working with elasticity. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to string on a bally bead, and then I'm going to string it through the top hole of the bead, and then I'm going to put on another bally and a crystal and then another bally, and this is going to be our pattern that we do all the way around. And we're going to do the top strands or holes first, and then we'll do the bottom. And when we get the top done, then we'll go ahead and knot it, and then we'll work the bottom. Now that I've completed the top strand or hole on these beads, I'm going to tie it off, and now I am actually going to go ahead and snip the elasticity with the nipper tool, and I'm going to knot this. And I'm going to show you the reason why I started with the bally bead was so I could hide my knot inside this bally bead because it has a bigger hole. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to do like you're tying your shoe first until we get it nice and snug, and then we're going to do it again as if you're tying your shoe, but this time when you cross over the top, we're going to cross over it 2 times. And what this does is it'll make this stay just a little easier. Sometimes our elasticity tends to slip out of knots, and just for double measure I like to go ahead and knot it one more time, and again knot it, bring it over twice. Oh, it came out. And see how that knot slides right into that bally bead? Now what we're going to do is going to take some hypo cement and we're going to drop it on this knot, and then I'm just going to slide that knot inside that little bally bead, and I'm just going to let these tails hang out for right now until we do the bottom strand, and then we'll trim those. Okay, to start the second strand, again all I'm going to do is string on the bally bead first, and I'm going to do just as we did for the top. I'm going to string it through the bottom hole in this case, and another bally. This is also the technique that you would use for a single strand bracelet, and really the only thing you need to remember when working with elasticity is that your beads, your measurement's going to change a little bit because it is on elastic. It's not going to necessarily be as long as if you were building a regular bracelet where you were crimping and using a toggle and a clasp. So I would check it against my wrist as I'm stringing it just to make sure I'm getting the right size. Okay, again I have come to the end here, and I started with the bally bead first so that my knot can hide in there, and all we're going to do again is just knot this off. I've already clipped it from the spool, and I'm just going to do like I'm tying a shoestring. Then on the second time around I'm going to bring this over twice. And try that again. And then I'm going to go ahead and knot it one more time. And then we'll put some glue on the knots. You really should let the glue set on the knots a good 12 hours before you even try to stretch the bracelet, because as I said, this elastic tends to be a little slippery and they slip out of knots sometimes. This knot's going to help prevent that, but again you may want to just let this glue set before you wear it or try to stretch it. Then again, slide that into the valley bead so it can dry. And just trim it flush to the knot with the nipper tool. And then you've completed your bracelet.